Morning guys, hi. I'm feeling really good, but last night I, in the middle of the night, edited my video and actually got it online. Happy days. And a watcher who supports me a lot, Jacqueline, hi, saying that I should do some kind of a what my baby eats or what I eat in a day. I have started that. I'm starting the baby one today. To be honest, mine's a bit all over the place because I kind of eat her leftovers and then if I'm lucky manage to make myself something. Are you okay? But yeah, we're quite similar in what we eat, so I will do a me one at some point, but it's really inspired me. So if anyone else is watching and there's like a certain thing that you'd love to see, type of video from me, please let me know. I don't have loads of time at the moment, obviously having a child to look after that's very young, but I do love making videos, so I have so many things that I want to do, and of course if there's something that you particularly want to see, I'm going to kind of zoom and do that one as quick as I can for you. So yeah, let me know if you're watching and there's anything you'd like to see. My hair is a big knotty state, but I really like if I have a bath with, you okay, girlie? Good girl. Yummy, yummy. If I have a bath with Epsom salts, because it's obviously salt, it kind of does like the salt water effect on my hair, which I like. But then if I brush it, even with a wide tooth comb, it doesn't stay the same. So it's kind of annoying. Cause, yeah, and I've got that thing as well where you have like curlier hair underneath. Like look right down through there, I get like nearly ringlets, and yet on the top it's straight. And yeah, in some cases it looks nice, like some of these angles I'm like, oh, it looks nice, and then actually when I see myself on photos or videos when I'm out, it just looks like I've been dragged through a bush backwards. So yeah, I need to do something with that. But mix and match to my pyjamas. I'm literally loving having pyjamas because I am obsessed with wearing dressing gowns, and it's not the most attractive thing to always have a dressing gown on. So having cozy pyjamas is a game changer. I'm really loving it because I just feel more put together. And I know you can't exactly call this put together, but for me it is compared to just having a dressing gown on. So yeah. She's eating her beans and egg. I tried to make these like beans and egg pancakes that I saw someone sent me a video for, and they looked really good, and they are good because they really turn into mush for the baby, which is great for me where I'm worried about choking. But they're quite hard to cook because they just kind of burn the pan, like if you leave them too long, but they don't stick together. So that's an interesting one, but we're trying something different. Don't get me wrong, I'm no coffee expert, but my mum just gave us this because it's like a 2-cup one, which I'm just leaving for 4 minutes. And this came in one of our Christmas hampers, and it's really nice. This coffee, yeah, I don't know anything about coffee, but I do like it, and I have heard on quite a few things that coffee beans are good for you. So. But not to have them after midday. So yeah, I'm trying to have a cup a day when I can, and not much more, because I do, when I'm out now, I often like an oat latte. And yeah, trying to avoid having too much caffeine because I don't want it to become a thing that I then need. But I do love a coffee in the morning. Never did I ever think I would be that person, because I've been brought up, my mum is like tea obsessed. It's like there's always a cup of tea on the go. We love our tea, so yeah, but since I haven't had dairy, I've kind of gone off tea more, and then even though now I'm used to it with oat milk, but it took a while. And yeah, having coffee more, also probably coinciding with being a mum. I don't like feeling like things have a hold over me though, so that's why it's kind of like, if I feel like, oh, I'm literally like, oh, I can't start my day without my coffee, I will be fasting from it and not letting myself have it, because I never think it's good to have that where you are controlled by other external sources. Obviously there's things like food and water that we need, but yeah, I don't like things to have a hold of me like that. So while I enjoy it but can take it or leave it is when I will have it. Yes, it is. I try and live by that with everything, but then like you saw with my last video at the end, sometimes you just got to have that midnight snack or whatever it is that is pulling you. I personally think the more important thing is the decision rather than what it is and what you're having, because if you've decided you're not going to have something and then you crave it so much and you can't stop yourself and then you have it, that's very different to deciding you want to give yourself something that you want and making that decision, and your brain knows like you're still in control, you've decided that. So yeah, sometimes there's times when I really fancy a coffee and I'm like, no, I need to have it. They're the times I actually won't. And then the times when I just think, oh, it'd be really nice, and there's no like, I need to do that, I'm like, put the kettle on, I'm gonna have a coffee. It's that sort of thing. Whereas, and like last night, I just really fancied a snack and I was like, do you know what? I've had a really good day. I, yeah, had an early night, but then ended up getting up and editing in the night. So yeah, I just was like, do you know what? I want to do this and do my editing, and that's my choice that I want to do. And then I think it's healthier than if I was like laying in bed going, no, don't do it, and then went and did it anyway. Wow, she's so loud, sorry. Because I think it's your mind control that is the most important thing, what you tell yourself and what you think, like your brain thinks and knows that you're in charge. Sounds a bit weird, a bit like, if you haven't read it already, Chimp Paradox is a really good book. And yeah, I haven't actually read it all, but my partner's read it and talked me through loads of it. And I kind of do the same sort of concept. So with like the chimp brain, being your kind of motivated, like wants things straight away by emotion, and then your human brain, and then your computer. I think of it like an adult and a child in my head. So like there's a child in my head that wants all the impulsive things and the things that would be good right now but aren't good for the long run and all that sort of thing. And then I think of the adult, and I know that I've also got the adult and I'm in charge. Like that adult can take control and be like, okay, this is great, but no, because of this. Or if I'm feeling low, like just knowing you've got to ride it out and not sink into the child side that's all like kind of having almost a tantrum, or like just sulking in the kind of sadness over and over, because obviously we know you can spiral and things like that. So I find it really useful to think of the adult going, okay, right, let's get the adult to step in here. No, we're not doing this. Like, that's how I work. Now we're straight on to bath time, and then we're going to do pram walk to sleep. Yeah. And hopefully Mummy can get some stuff done. Happy days. Where's he gone? Oh, dropped one. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm just finding I need to talk to you about everything. So these are these such cute glasses that my brother and his girlfriend got me for Christmas from Anthropologie. Where's she gone? Where's she gone? There she is! Right, where are those pretty ones? These pretty ones on, yeah? Where these pretty ones on her? Clever girl. Oh my gosh, they come all the way up. All the way up. Big. Bit of a bit too small, isn't it? Look at that then. Wow, they're going to keep you warm. Oh my gosh, so cute. So, Mummy, have a look at that outfit. What's that doggy doing? What's that doggy doing? Yeah, you're tired now, aren't you? You're tired now. What a cute outfit that is. Just managed to get myself dressed. I do not look great, but I haven't even brushed my teeth, but I'm not gonna see anyone that I know, I don't think. I've got trackies and a base layer on, and then I've just put my coat over the top. Honestly, it's so hard to not get like frustrated when you've got a baby that you can't put down. So I'm trying to get dressed, literally put my trousers on, put my top on. She's moaning on the bed. And then there's a lot of 1 sec baby girl going on. Because yeah, it's impossible when literally she's happy as soon as she's in my arms. But when she's down, especially when she's tired, she's just like, no, I'm not happy. And then the dog knows when I'm getting ready and we're going. Then he starts, and it's like a bit overstimulating having all the sounds, as you can hear. So I'm just there like, 1 sec, baby girl, I'll be just coming in a minute. And then yeah, we just get out the house as quick as we can. So my chance of getting ready is slim. Do you know what? I just went off on a tangent of thought from something that I said earlier. And I was just thinking about how I teach my baby about procrastination, and that thing I remember when I was younger of having to do a task that you don't want to do and arguing with your parents about it. I think nearly everyone's been there before. And the frustration when you don't want to do it, and the kind of time you'll spend arguing about it rather than just doing it. And I was imagining she was doing that and speaking to her. And I was thinking about how I'd explain to her that she's got this person in her head that's the one that's going to have the tantrums, the one that's going to be saying, I don't want to do that, you know, and finding it very difficult and everything else, and just being kind of negative and the opposite to what you need. And then the trick, and I would say it to her in a very exciting way, of the fact that the trick is that you've also got access to the adult in your head, or what you'd actually call the higher self, your higher self. And that person is the one that's going to be able to talk to that toddler and say, we can't do this all day. The quickest way we move forward is action. That's the only way we can move forward, is action. So we can sit here all day, or we can sit here for 1 minute and have that conversation with ourselves about how much we don't want to do something, or we can just get on and do it. And if we action things quickly, especially if we set a timer and make it a bit fun and make it that we've got to do it as quick as we can, the quicker it's over, and all that time that we've spent moaning about the task, which actually we could put into the same box as doing the task, we can take that time back and do something nice and fun and enjoy that time. And yeah, teaching your child, I feel, that they have control of their mind is so important. And this is why those things in childhood that you think are just being your parents being annoying or whoever looking after you can be like such important life lessons. And you know, I was very much, when I was younger, I'm not going to make my kids do this. But actually no, like the amount of times I had to walk home instead of getting a lift, or do the washing up, clean my shoes, like lots of things. The amount that they actually taught me, just of actually being able to deal with my emotions, like going through not enjoying something but still having to just get on with it. They've just been so important for my work ethic now, my ability to have a calm nervous system while I'm having to do stuff I don't want to do, the ability I have to not procrastinate and to just shut my mind off and crack on until the job's done. Like, these are all so important for success in life, and for not finding life as hard as well. And we can learn them at any age, but obviously if we get to learn them as a child, it's going to be more useful because we can think in that way. Like the idea of thinking of her at school or like somewhere else, and using that thought process herself of like, you know, the ability to get through something that maybe she isn't fancying doing, or the way that she can kind of see that she can take control if her mind is, for example, causing anxiety or making her worry about something that she doesn't want to worry about. Like, I just feel those lessons from my mum were invaluable, so I'm going to be passing that on.
And another thought for you. Sorry, this is literally just a video of me talking. I hope it's enjoyable because I'm enjoying my thoughts. I just had a thought, and this is another thing, talking of actually having to push through things. I have a thought, I go through a process in my head, like a conversation with myself, and then I think, I really want to share this with you guys. And then the effort to actually pick up the camera and video the same conversation that I just had with myself, because I feel like over it. But I do it, I'm doing it. So this thought that came to mind, for some reason I was thinking about a happy child, and then I was thinking, no, I don't want a happy child. What's a happy child? You know, there's no human that's always happy. So you can't actually make a happy child. So what are you trying to mould? And I thought, what are my 3 words? And the 3 words I'm trying to mould my child into is resilient, because I think resilience is one of the best tools you can have in life. Strength, because strength, same reason. And content. And when I say content, a content human, it's like that feeling that most of the time it's not happy, it's at peace, I think, with what's going on or whatever it is, and being able to stay in quite a good form of peace most of the time. I think this is something that I've cracked quite well. If things go up in the air in my life, I'm very resilient to the change and but more like my nervous system staying quite comfortable through things. And it's one of, I feel like, my best superpowers. So it's definitely something I want to pass on. And hopefully might pass on even through videos from things I say and ways I think. And yeah, because I think that's the thing, is your little kind of ways you have that help you live are your superpowers, or they can be totally against you. And we see that where you can learn about how your brain can, form more and more anxiety and all that sort of stuff. If you've got tools against it, for example, distraction for me, when it comes to anxiety, or that feeling inside of, oh, I don't want to do that. So I've got stuff in the afternoon I don't really want to do. And I've mentioned it before, the eat the frog, stuff that I'm going to get that done first because I don't want to do that stuff. But when you don't have a choice of when you're doing stuff, there might be something coming up that you don't want to do. I feel like the art of distraction is the best thing, because there's no point sitting with those sort of feelings. If it's something that you need to do, for example, if you had an interview and you're nervous, you might be, able to get yourself more prepared, and that makes you feel better. But if not, if you've done everything you can and you just need to wait for that time and it's 2 hours away, the art of distraction. Because if you can just say to yourself, right, my brain is going elsewhere, I'm doing something where I'm not able to then think about the thing to just pass the time, and it can be something productive, but there's nothing else worth doing, is there? Because unless something's going to help you, sitting in it is the worst thing you can do. And if you try and just do something that doesn't take much brain power, your brain will be strong enough to just focus on that thing. So it has to be something where your brain can't think of something else at the same time. For example, reading a story, or watching something where you get lost in it, or learning a new skill, something, or exercise, something where, certain exercise, because if you were running you could be thinking about it. So I think it would have to be tennis, or something where you're playing a game, where you really have to distract your mind and it literally physically can't think of something else at the same time. I feel like the tools that sort of thing are the thing that gets you through life better or worse or harder, finding it harder or easier. And we're all here trying to survive a difficult, life is difficult, living is not easy, but it can be so much more joyous if we have those things we can use. So I'm just now waiting for my mother-in-law to come up with a box to rescue this poor pigeon, because I spotted him and he's kind of just sitting there all puffed out, which is very unusual to sit on the floor like that. So I tried to go approach him and he just kind of jumped off a bit, and obviously was having very issues to get off the ground. So I think it's his legs, and they looked like there was some sort of wire or something round. So bless him, I think he's maybe got caught on something, probably something man-made as usual. But yeah, anyway, I tried to tie the dog up and take her blanket and get him. Obviously I would have then thrown the blanket, but I was like, how am I going to walk home with the pigeon trying to get away from the dog, and the dog trying to smell the pigeon, and the baby, if she got upset, you know, and then it's things on my hands and everything else. So I thought, you know what, I'll see if my mother-in-law's around, and thankfully she is. And she used to work at a wildlife rescue, well, volunteer a bit, so that's really good that she can help me with that. So yeah, just pleased that I spotted him and hoping he's not too difficult for us to pick up. Poor thing, he looks so sad, just sitting there worried. Yeah, they seem to just put themselves in my way sometimes, like I just find them, and maybe it's just because I'm more observant, I don't know, but I can never leave an animal that I know's hurt. Hopefully with some rehabilitation he'll be set free in the same place again. Bless it. So, quick update, my mother-in-law met me at mine with the pigeon, and we had a cup of tea and some toast together, and waited for them to arrive. I got some vintage orders packed and a different order, and yeah, so some of the admin-y bits I needed to get done. Then they picked the pigeon up, so shout out to the WRAS, they're always amazing. So yeah, that was probably about an hour and a half later, so just did some stuff in the house, prepared dinner, which is just spag bowl, but having her help really was amazing. It means you can just get so much more done. So gave my baby some lunch, just pear and prune puree. Just keep feeding her that because she still hasn't pooed since Thursday, so I need her to poo. So just trying to get that to come through. And then I've walked to town. She's gone to sleep nicely for her nap. I've walked to town to go to the post office. Look how red my cheeks are. And then walked back as quick as I can to go to the InPost lockers before I get home. So yeah, it's been an active day, that's for sure. My stomach is rumbling. I'm gonna have been doing this thing where I just have like whole food, like whole vegetables to fill me up, and fruit. So when I get home, I'm just gonna eat a carrot, a raw one, and a stick of celery. It sounds mad, but I get more energy from doing that. So that's what I'm gonna do when I get in, and then I will have dinner later.